Grabbing myself a tea there. Hello everybody. For anybody that's watching. Live, that is. It's a beautiful day out there. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Fees TV. No, it's not. Mind body. Thank you, Freddie, for all of your hard work behind the scenes. In my part-time, I'm a DJ on Today FM. Jeez, I have Illusions of Grandeur, Loughrea Community Radio. So my show is going out at 2 o'clock, so I'm sorting out my songs for that in between my two lives. Some nice little cracking tunes for the day that's in it, I'd like to hope. But yeah, I have a chat with a different person every week. My show is called Rambling with Fee. I've been doing it for less than a year, enjoying the process, always learning, different style of take. Just like Facebook Lives, sometimes they go well, and sometimes they don't. They always come across well, by the way, by the time I get to the end of it. Anyway, I'm just going to wait a couple more minutes until we begin. I'm going to announce a little competition for anybody that's listening. Oh, which reminds me, best to have my little competition piece ready. So I'm just going to go off camera for a moment. We just got another
are at 12:40. So good afternoon and welcome to this live, which is about passive diffusion or passive diffusers. So you might be familiar with diffusers of varying sorts that you plug in and can use in your home. I have a couple here in my clinic. I've got a couple at home. I find them a really nice way to, give an aroma to the space that you're in, and I don't find them too in the face, I suppose. Like I said with the bath salts, less is more with essential oils. They are an exceptionally effective method of aerating and using smell to make a room smell really good. But yeah, less is always more. Err on the side of caution, because you can always add more, but it is really tricky to take away when you've added it. Okay. So, everybody's got a favourite smell. The thing about smell is, it's really interesting, well, I find it personally. All of our senses, our five senses, the four of them, all go through our central nervous system before they go near our brain. But our sense of smell obviously comes through here. Your olfactory nerve is up here, and it goes directly to your limbic system. So that is why smell can often be, for some people, some smells can be often very emotive or emotional link or emotional story, or bring back a very powerful memory. Coffee, smell of coffee for me personally always reminds me, and I didn't actually take up drinking coffee really till I was about 19. It was when I went to Spain and the tea was rotten. But my memories around coffee would always be in relation to Bewley's Coffee House in Dublin. Even before I drank coffee, I would always go, when and if I was in Dublin as a teenager, late teens, I would always go and buy my dad a bag of ground coffee beans that would be ground freshly for him. And I loved the smell of it. Really interesting, and it can bring back that memory of standing in the Bewley's queue. So that's a really interesting thing about the sense of smell, and maybe if you have a certain smell that brings back a certain memory, that'll be why. It completely bypasses our central nervous system, unlike all other senses. So what am I going to talk about? A couple of ideas. Now, I actually couldn't find my wooden peg before I started. We've moved house a couple of weeks ago, and I should have been better planned, but I wasn't. So there you go. So hang me. But this idea that I'm going to show you with using a makeup pad is also doable with a wooden peg. If you're interested, I do have on my YouTube channel a whole host of DIY things you can do, and there's a few of them around passive diffusers and whatnot. But to use this, and you can imagine if you want that it's a wooden peg, use an oil you like. Lavender is one of those, as I would have said in the bath salts live. Lavender is one of those that is used massively. I don't know if the fact that it's overused so much, or overused is maybe the wrong way to put it, but it is used so much that it doesn't do it for me. Not as an aroma. I know it's amazing oil for skin, an absolute one you should really have in your kitchen all the time. Great for burns, but it wouldn't be one that I would choose to use for this. One I really like is, one of my favourites is tangerine. Tangerine as opposed to orange. It's a little lighter than orange. I don't know, I'm not quite sure how to describe it. It's a feeling. I really like the smell of orange. It really does it for me. Or tangerine, sorry. So you just take your makeup pad, and this is brand new clean one, and you put maybe 3 or 4 drops on that. That's a passive diffuser. With this, you can put this, really nice, very uplifting. Citrusy smells are very uplifting, really good for mood. You can put this on a radiator, and what will happen is the heat from the radiator will come in underneath and it will passively diffuse out through it. You could also put this, tucked into a top under a bra strap or in underneath a sleeve. You can use this in your car. You can fold it up and you can put it into the vent and use it that way. You could... I wouldn't leave, the only thing you wouldn't do with this kind of thing is leave it on a sunny window, because the sun will make that evaporate a lot quicker than letting it passively diffuse. Good morning, Miriam, how are you? Afternoon even. The sun is shining, I hope, wherever you are. But if I was going to use one in a car, one of my favourites is, and I sell these, so you'll find these on my clinic, my website's on my clinic, and you'll find them in my clinic. These are another type of passive diffuser. This is called a car diffuser. So you see the clip here? This clips into your car vent. You open up the little doorway, it's got a hinge on it. your nail in one side, you'll see there's a little nail groove. I'll show you there. I think maybe you can see it. There's a little nail groove there on the side. Very easy. It's hinged, so you open it up like so, and you've got a little disc inside. So same like the makeup pad, you put 4 or 5 drops on this. What happens is the heat goes through the back. See the little holes in the back? So the heat from your car vent goes through the back, passes through the disc, which is inside here, and then comes out through the design. Now, it's not as strong as, you know, those ones you find in a car hanging from a mirror. Personally, I don't like them. I find them very, very gagging, actually. I can almost taste them. No idea what's exactly in them, just that I don't particularly like them. So what I have is a range of, these are different ones. There's a Triskel, that one's what I call it, a Tree Life. This one, little person doing yoga, or a butterfly, my daughter says it is. This one, oil. There you go, does what it says on the tin. So it's just a nice idea, a passive diffusion to use in your car. I have one in my car. Sometimes I put oil on it, particularly in this kind of weather, I suppose, you'd have your window open a bit more. So these wouldn't be as effective, right? But nonetheless, this little guy on your car vent, nice bit of bling for your car, darling. The oil I would use in a car, personally speaking, I wouldn't use lavender. Not in a car. You don't really want somebody to... calm is good, but too calm is not great. What I would use is something like lemongrass, very uplifting and very purifying of the air. A lady I know, she was carrying dogs. She carries her dogs in her car quite a lot, and they go for a swim and they come out and you've got a bit of a wet dog smell. Very nice one for that. Lime is a lovely one, very uplifting. All the citrus ones are very uplifting. Cedarwood, nice one as well, a bit more resiny, kind of a tree resin, but goes straight to the limbic system, very much tied with emotions. Not everybody's cup of tea, maybe a little bit musky. 2 other ones that I would also put in a car would be eucalyptus, very clear, very uplifting, or peppermint. Personally speaking, the one I do with this is, I used to carry the oil in the actual bottle, but and when I was going on long drives, I would always have it in my car, and I would take it out. I put a little drop. I'm going to demo now for you purposes, and I put a little drop beside either side of my eyes, and maybe a little bit on my forehead and up. Your hair will hold the smell actually a lot more as well, and up around here. And it's really great for headaches. Putting it just here. There's a little natural gap up. If you slide your finger up to the base of your skull, your vagus nerve is there. We would work with this quite a lot in craniosacral therapy. So just up around here is a great one for headaches. But when you're on a long drive, don't know about anybody else. It's gone back to what I was doing last night with the sound bath. You can often go into that theta brainwave, get a little bit dopey. So I would use that. But what I discovered was one time I was driving, I went too close to my eyes. You've got to be careful with that. I went a bit too close to my eyes, and my eyes started streaming. So then, well, I was nearly blind to myself while driving on a motorway. So not a good option. So what I learned was I just use an empty bottle. So I bring an empty bottle with me. It retains its smell really, really well, even though it's in my car, lid is on. I have it in the little, you know, in between the 2 car seats. I take it out, take the lid off, give it a good sniff, and that's all you got to do. Oh, and it really clears your sinuses and opens your eyes. It would work for me better than drinking a coffee. I would sniff a bit of peppermint and drink a bit of water, and I find I'm rehydrating myself, and I just feel more awake and more alive, and more able for a long drive. I don't drive for very long periods of time on a regular basis, so for me, yeah, it's not the most interesting thing to do. For some people, they absolutely love it. So yeah, keeping your empty bottles with your oils in them, really another great way to passively diffuse them. Like I said when I was doing the bath salts video, you can use your empty ones, you take the lid off and chuck them in with your Epsom salts, and they'll soak up a little bit of that smell. Epsom salts are great for that. So that's one passive diffuser. Another one is I have, and you'll see it, I'm usually always wear it, is a necklace. It's another way to use oils. So I, again, have a range of them there. These are all just the pendants, not the necklaces themselves. What you do with those, I'm just going to give you a little demo here. I have a bunch here. So this is one, this is the hand symbol for my clinic that I got made. As you can see, it's there in the background. That's quilling, made by a wonderful artist called Tony O'Donovan, a local lady. She made it in the Chakra colours. I love that. So again, like the car diffuser, it's got a little thumb lift space or thumb insert, and you lift it up and you've got your insert inside. Now with this, because the heat doesn't go through this, see there's no holes in the back. That's one of the reasons I like this particular design. I've gone through a few different designs over the years. One of the reasons I like this is it's solid on the back and therefore it won't stain your clothes. So it passively diffuses out through the design only at the front. And now it's not overwhelming. It's not like I don't kind of go, oh, I can smell it lifting up to me. It depends on what oil you use, depends on how strong you like it. But what I like, I'm a bit klutzy, so I don't tend to wear them very long. I have ones on much longer necklaces that, you know, some ladies like to have long ones. Or some gentlemen, maybe. Gents have bought these, so that's a long one, and it will hang quite low. What I like to do is lift it up, and just give it a good old sniff. What I find with those is 3 drops every 3 months. That's how long they'll last, because the designs aren't really very, very open and very big, so it won't dry out. The one thing to be mindful of, a bit like whether you're using this, is if you don't leave it on a sunny windowsill, and don't leave it over the chain over a source of direct heat, because that will make the insert dry. So therefore, that's why the one for the car needs to be replaced probably every 2 weeks, because the heat passes through it and dries out the pad on the inside, whereas the one you wear around your neck will last a lot longer. Even with body heat, even on a day like today, I mean, I suppose you're not really going around and showing your necklace to the sun. But it is a lovely way of carrying your oils with you. Lots of people have bought them as gifts for other people. There's one I have and it says just breathe on it. I'll show you, which, you know, we all need to be reminded of every now and again. This one is got dandelions on it, dandelion seed heads. They say dandelions are the seeds, wishes blowing in the wind. I was walking from my clinic one day, there's a bridge, I'm on Bridge Street in Gort, and I was walking over the bridge, and there was a whole pile of dandelion seed heads floating through the air, and each to their own. People see weeds, I see, oh, springtime. And the first flower that the bees like to eat, so if you or nibble on or take the pollen. So if you're a person who picks dandelions, one for you, one for the bees, but I'm sure there's plenty of them out and around wherever you are in Ireland. You'll find them growing on all sorts of hedgerows and byways and highways. So in, like, the thing is with driving in your car, I would go for an uplifting oil. For car sickness, what would I use? I suppose you could use lavender, but I'm not sure. You would need that kind of close to you. I would probably suggest, if you were going to use an oil for car sickness, that you actually possibly put it on you before you get into the car. And the thing, I suppose, is, when you think about it, if you associate going in the car with getting sick, you're already 2 steps ahead of that before you actually get in the car. So the thing would be is to find an oil that you like. That would be my personal idea. So we'll say, for example, I really like thieves. It's not particularly one to use for car sickness, right? But I really like thieves. So if I was to smell this and make a roller, so you use somewhere between 4 and 6 drops in a 10ml bottle, a little roller ball, put that on you, and I smell it, I associate that with a smell that I like. So as I said earlier on, smell is very closely linked to your limbic system, emotions and memories, okay? Bypasses your central nervous system, as I was saying. So if you begin to associate whatever smell you like with going in the car, you're kind of treating yourself before you get in there, almost like a preventative. Whereas if you wait until you're in the car, the chances are you're already going to be thinking you're going to be sick before you even go on your journey, if that makes sense. It's like you're tying it in a different way. Like my daughter was trying to train the cat. So I said to her, well, if you train the cat, entrain the cat, I suppose, into a thing of associating my daughter with cuddles. She's very affectionate towards the cat. The cat doesn't often always reciprocate. So takes about 2 weeks, and I'm sure with humans it probably takes that long. And if you've somebody who suffers with car sickness, it might even take longer. So thing is that you roll it on and you associate the smell, right? So you're doing that before you go in the car. And then when you get into the car, you have it on you, you're associating that smell with a different feeling. So you're kind of retraining yourself, entraining yourself in a way. So with the cat, what I was saying to her was, you take an oil that you like. My daughter, for example, she likes grapefruit. So you put a couple of drops of that around her food bowl. So when she goes to her food, which is something that she enjoys, she smells the grapefruit. Not on her bowl, but around it. A couple of drops, that's all you need. And over a period of a couple of weeks, she ties in the smell of grapefruit with food. And my daughter has put a drop of grapefruit on herself, or on a drop on her clothing, so long as it's, you be mindful of what you put it on, not an antique, maybe lace or something like that. And then therefore the cat will associate the smell of grapefruit with food, which she likes, and then she'll smell it on my daughter, so she ties it in. See what I mean? So the idea is that you change it in your mind slightly. It's like changing a habit, but it might take time. It depends on the level of which you get car sick as well. But find something you like. Peppermint would be a good one for nausea, definitely. If you like it, that works wonders. But if I tell you that and you don't like peppermint at all, then it's not going to really help you, if you associate it with something else. So after lunch, sleepy slump. I would go for something similar like what you might use in the car. Peppermint is very invigorating, and this would be a great thing to have, say if you're working at a computer or you've got a wooden peg. Get a wooden peg, drop your oils on it, so something uplifting. A citrus oil. Lemon is never very, very strong though when you use it in diffusion. It's great for many other things. So lemongrass, lime, eucalyptus, anything that kind of clears the head and uplifts you. Again, if there's an oil that you particularly like, you use that one as well. But it depends. Like I wouldn't put lavender, obviously. Cedarwood, yes, it could be a good one, but I would go, that's more of a calmative kind of version of an oil. I really like tangerine, lime, lemongrass, grapefruit. Any of those are quite invigorating. To use a wooden peg and clip it somewhere around your wire or your computer, or to use a disc, so that has drops of tangerine on it, which is why it's quite orangey. And even like the sinusy stuff that I was talking about yesterday, the little seeds, you take a little sniff of those. Good for your sinuses, so it's uplifting, it clears the head. Plenty of water as well, that would be another one. So what I'm actually going to do on my own page later on today is I'm going to run a little competition. So you've got first heads up for anybody that's on here now. So if you would like to win a diffuser. So this one is not a passive diffuser, this is an electric diffuser. It comes with a plug, a very groovy plug actually, that comes with 2 different things that you slide into it. Very cool. I'm very impressed with that now. And 2 oils are coming with this as well. This is a little diffuser. This is a ceramic top on it. And here is your little water holder inside. So you put your water into there, drops of oil, plug it in and diffuse away. So the value of this is about 55 quid. So because the sun is out and I'm feeling a bit crazy, I'm going to do a competition on my page. So if you want to tell me what your favourite flavour of ice cream is, could be peppermint, might be mint, I rather like mint actually. But I'm going to put a post up later, so reply to the post that I put up. So obviously you'll have to like my page in order to be part of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it run for a week, and I will draw the winner next Bank Holiday Monday. I thought it'd be a nice way to round off a Bank Holiday weekend for somebody. And 2 oils come with it. There's lemon and peppermint, and all the other bits and bobs to make your diffuser work. Wonderful. So I hope that was of some use to different people. Probably a lot more in there now than just passive diffusion. And if you have any other questions, you can put them in afterwards. And I do take a look, and I will have an answer, or I will give an answer. And I'm off out to enjoy the sunshine, and I will be back later on with the Yoga Nidra. So I'll do a little Yoga Nidra meditation, which is like a body scan. So I just suggest that you're comfortable for it, and I'm going to incorporate a little bit of sound. So if you're free at 7, do join me, but the recordings will be there. I'm Fiona McDonough, and this is Love Clinic, signing off for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Enjoy your day.